What's going on, guys? Repairs and reviews here. I have finally upgraded my air compressor, and there's Daisy checking it out. Nice upgrade from my old Craftsman air compressor. It was ancient old. It was about half this size, and the regulator was bad, and I could never find parts for it. I really didn't investigate too much. But every time I had to use it, I would just plug it in, let the air build up, and once it started hissing air from the release valve, I would unplug it and use it, and you know, it was a vicious cycle. Anyway, finally got this. This is actually an early Christmas present from my wife. I actually got her Garth Brooks tickets, so we're going to see him this Friday, so it's a little, you know, before Christmas, but that's when he's in town, so it was only fair to get my gift too, right? Anyway, I'm going to be unboxing this. As far as I know, you get to assemble the wheels and put the stupid little handle on, and I don't think it comes with oil in it, but we're going to flush it with oil. I bought a bunch of extra oil. We're going to flush this engine in case there's any metal shavings or sediment left in from assembly, which I have heard from multiple people that is typically the case for this compressor. So we're going to flush that stuff out of there and make sure this is as clean as possible. So we'll get this unboxed. I'm going to put it together, and then we'll start the flush procedure. Alright, let's see if I can capture this one-handed, but this is the oil that came with the compressor. It gave me just enough to fill it. I bought this to flush the compressor, the engine, and then I bought this to actually run in the compressor. Now when I say flush the compressor, I have heard many people say there is leftover metal shavings in the engine from when it was manufactured, so I just filled it with the compressor oil. And sorry about my garage, I'm in the process of building shelves, so here we go. See if I can do this one-handed. We're gonna see if it does have metal shavings. I have not run this engine. I just put oil in it, and I'm going to drain the oil out of it. See what happens. I do not like this tiny little Phillips head screw. I don't like that. Alright, right away, it kind of looks dirty to me. If you see that little streak in the middle, and I cleaned this container out as best I could, but it almost looks like there's little metal shavings in it. So I'm going to flush this a couple times. I mean, this is a Harbor Freight special, so you can only expect so much. I'm also going to attempt to replace this piece of crap they call a air filter. Another person I saw when I was researching this before I bought it said that some of these were actually loose for the head bolts. So before I do anything, and I've already done this, I took a hex key, whatever you want to call it, can't think of the name, and actually checked every single one of these, including these, and they did not move, so they're definitely tight. But this is what's coming out of this before running it. So like I said, I'm going to flush the engine with that bottle right there, and I don't know if I have enough to break in and change the oil after break-in with the Husky. It's a synthetic blend, but that's what I plan on running in it afterwards. So I will keep you updated. I will continue to flush this, and we will look at it after the fact. Well, I've done some math here. That bottle it came with is 165 milliliters, and the synthetic blend is 473 milliliters. So I should be able to break it in and do one oil change with a little some to spare with this bottle. In other news, I have made a big mess. I have filled the engine completely with that bottle. So basically I have filled it totally to the top, and it actually overflowed. So hopefully anything in this engine will flow down and out before I start this engine and break it in. So just wanted to update you on my mess. But once I get this cleaned up and actually put the synthetic blend in it, then I will start the video again and we will do the break-in. Alright, I've got plenty of stuff to do around here, as if I showed you my shelves and my mess. So I've rigged me up my oil drain contraption. I have completely filled the engine with the rest of this bottle, and it is going to drain out into here, and I'll show you in detail once it's done. I do see some metal shavings, and as you saw a little earlier, it was some darker oil, I guess, left over from assembly. I don't know, but we're going to flush that out of there, and we're going to break it in and then change the oil with the higher quality synthetic blend. Hopefully higher quality. Everything has been flushed. I initially filled it with this, immediately flushed it, flushed that out, and ran this entire bottle through it. I actually filled the engine all the way up to just drain it, to get any sediment, any leftover particles, shavings. Let's see how well this will do. I definitely saw some stuff. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I think you were able to see it in the other video I took a little bit earlier. You were able to see it draining straight out of the engine better than trying to pick it up now that it's completely full. But I have my air line hooked up. I have my blow nozzle. I have my drain plug or drain valve open, and you're supposed to run this for 30 minutes is the break-in, and I actually filled it with the synthetic oil, and this is the first time I'm starting it, so I'll give you my initial reaction of how loud it is. It could be worse, I guess. It's pretty loud, but it could be worse. So I'll be back in 30 minutes. Everything has been run and broke in for 30 minutes, like the instructions say. And in those 30 minutes, I was able to make a lot of progress on my mess in here. So it is time. It was a little loud in here. Should have had some earplugs on, but I didn't have any. Gets old after 30 minutes. 5 minutes, it'd be alright, but I think I just missed a little bit. This is the initial break-in. It looks a little dark. A little darker than I'd like it to be. And I have this sitting on some blocks to kind of angle it to get pretty much everything out. And it's a little darker than I'd like it to be, so I'm probably going to use the rest of this bottle of the synthetic blend, and I might actually do this again. I'll have to pick up another bottle, but after this I should be all set. Probably do a couple tests and then do a final review once I get to actually really use it. Alright, it's now in its permanent location. I'm going to hook it up, fill it, do some tests. Out the outlet over there. I don't want to overload it because I've got power strips for all my chargers and stuff. So let's load it up and do some tests. Alright, this just popped off, about 125, what it's rated. And I have it set roughly about 100. Now we're going to try and run the Snap-on MG725, and it's a monster. It consumes a lot of air. I know what this will do at work. Obviously I have a much bigger, better compressor to run it at work. So, but you know, I have an idea what it feels like running it at work. So this first time I've hooked it up, I'm going to squeeze the trigger and see what kind of power I think it has. I don't really have anything to test it with. Everything I have is basically small engine around here, so I don't want to be breaking stuff. But here we go. Oh no. No, that is weak. That is very, very weak. That is very weak. I mean, this thing at work, and I don't know what the air pressure at work is, probably well over 150. I mean, you hit this thing and it is wide open, about to jump out your hand. But, you know, what can you expect for 150 bucks? I did have the super coupon, so it was definitely an upgrade from my old Craftsman, which the regulator didn't work, and I had to plug it in to build it up and then unplug it once the air built. So I mean, this is nice. This is nice for home use, but it is not going to run a real half-inch drive impact. Let me run it to 125 and see what it'll do, but I don't think it's really going to make that big a difference. I've run it. It built back. It caught on about a little under 90, and it didn't take very long to build back up. Let me put this as wide open as it'll go without breaking it. That's probably right at 125. I don't think it's going to make that big a difference. No. It's weak. For light duty stuff, I'm sure it's fine, but you know, I'm obviously not going to be doing much with half-inch drive impact, which is kind of unfortunate. I had hoped to do a little bit, but you know, this is still an upgrade, so I will do an in-depth review once I really get to use it, and maybe I'll even find some stuff to see if this will work. I mean, it works, but it's not near what a shop air compressor will actually, you know, supply this gun. But thanks for watching. This has been Repairs and Reviews. Okay guys, this is the day after I did the break-in period for this compressor. It held air overnight. It actually held a lot more than that, but I've used it to blow out some stuff today. But I flipped it on as I was using it, and it still had enough air. But when it went to engage to build the air pressure back up, this is what I got. It's not looking good for the Harbor Freight air compressor. It's not looking good at all. I've already called the store. I mean, considering I bought it 24 hours ago, they said bring it on in, they will swap it out, but hopefully this is a fluke and this does not project what my next compressor will be like. But stay tuned. What's going on, guys? I'm here to update you on my horrible Freight air compressor. I went to swap it out, and I basically made the decision after running some tests on it and actually using it a little bit before it crapped out on me that I need more air pressure. So I went over to Home Depot after returning the Harbor Freight and got the Husky 30 gallon, 175 psi. This is the oilless model. It's just the oilless electric compressor, but it's a little more money. But I'm going to tell you what, this thing is a monster. I briefly used it when I got it home and I started it up, and I'm going to tell you, this thing is actually, in my opinion, a little quieter than the Harbor Freight oiled compressor. And I thought the oilless compressors were loud. Well, this one actually is, in my opinion, just a tiny bit quieter. It actually surprised me when I cut it on. So, just to give you an update, I no longer have the Harbor Freight air compressor. So, when I go to make a review, this is going to be the one that I review, and I feel that this one is going to suit my needs a lot better than the little, it's got a 30 gallon tank instead of a 20. Well, I think it's 21 in the Harbor Freight. And it's got 50 more psi. It has impressed me so far, and I haven't really got to use it so much. I sat here with a blow nozzle once it was up. Once the tank was full, I sat here with a blow nozzle and held it wide open, and it took some time to actually drain down to where the engine, the compressor cut back on. So the extra 10 gallons in the 30 gallon compressor is definitely nice to have, and this will be my compressor that I review, assuming this one doesn't crap out tomorrow like the Harbor Freight did. But I will be trying this out, and I will get back to you on the results. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll be glad to answer it. This is Repairs and Reviews. Thanks for watching.